Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another weekly income recap for the portfolio. This will cover Monday, August 18th through today, Friday, August 22nd. I'm recording this about 9:30 p.m. my time on Friday night. My wife and I decided to tackle our shopping tonight rather than do it tomorrow to try and preserve a little bit more of our time away from work, I guess, our weekend, and not spend it in the stores when everything is really busy. So we took my 4-month-old daughter and loaded her up in the car and went to Trader Joe's and Costco, which are two of the busiest stores you could probably walk into. But it actually was not too bad for a Friday night, and traffic getting there wasn't too bad as well. So it worked out. And we did get back a little bit later, but everything seemed to work out pretty good. So recording this a little bit later. Before I jump into the recap, just a quick overview of the overall strategy of the portfolio for any new listeners or watchers. The goal is to deposit $6,000 per month into the account. So 50% of that is used for options trading. It is held in the ticker SGOV to sell cash secured puts on stocks or ETFs that I want to hold long term. Right now I'm doing weekly. And then 50% of that deposit is used to purchase high yield dividend stocks and ETFs. Just before the first of the month, I withdraw $6,000 on margin to pay my mortgage and student loans. So this is constantly invested, and then 6,000 is borrowed to pay off my debt. So all income generated pays down the margin balance. So all dividends, all premiums from selling covered calls or cash secured puts, and all capital gains from buying and selling is used to pay down the margin balance throughout the month. Eventually, the income generated will outpace the $6,000 that I'm withdrawing, and that way, these two debts will be paid for entirely by the income generated. And then eventually, it'll outpace that and create financial freedom where I can live out of my portfolio forever going forward. So, jumping in, the recap for this week. What did I do with options? I sold 4 put contracts of SOXL, received a total premium of $121.35. I rolled, but eventually sold one contract of SBUX, which is Starbucks. So 1 put contract for a total income of $58.68. ASTS, 1 put contract of $99.34. TNA, 1 put contract for $22.34. I went a little bit lower on this one because it just had a big run up because of an interest rate dovish Jackson Hole meeting from the Fed. So I didn't want to get too close to that number because I feel like it could come back down anytime now. TSLL, I still hold these 700 shares. It was sitting about $12.69 when I rolled these 7 contracts. I kept it at the $13 strike, which is my cost basis as well. So I was able to collect total premium of $289.27. So total options income for this week was $590.98, so a bit higher than last week. Going over to the dividend income. Ulti paid me $72.90. It's been hovering around the 9 to, well, lately it's been 10, but it's been hovering in the 9 to 10 cent range per week per share, which has been great. XDTE paid me $118.61. YMAX paid me $19.95, bit higher than last week because if you recall from last week, I did purchase a few more shares of YMAX. So Ulti, XDTE, and YMAX are all weekly payers, so I get these every Friday. And these will continue to grow as I buy more, obviously. And then I received my monthly dividend from SPYI this week in the amount of $51.76. So dividend income for this week was $263.22, a little bit higher than last week as well. What did I do with my weekly deposit? I bought 2 more shares of Pepsi, so I have a total of 5 now. Bought 2 more shares because of all the holdings I have in this account right now. It was actually one of the few that I was down on, even with the up and down volatility of the market this week. I was only down really on Pepsi and a couple others. And Pepsi is one that I want to build up, so I decided to buy a few more shares. So I spent a quarter of it to buy 2 shares at a total of $299.65. Because I want to keep the yield high right now or higher in this portfolio to offset the Pepsi shares because it only pays like a little less than a 4% dividend. I wanted to offset that a bit with Ulti. So I bought 52 more shares of Ulti for 299.30 total. So like I said, it pays about right now it's been paying about 10 cents per week. So that buys me another roughly $5.20 per week, or another $20 per month with those purchases. And then I bought, like I said, I split 50% of my $1,200 deposit to use for options selling. So I bought 6 shares of SGOV to sit there and then use that money to sell cash secured puts on new positions. So total income for the portfolio for this week between the options income and the dividend income was $854.24. So a bit higher than last week. We got one more week to go this month, next week, and then ending on Friday for the trading month. And then I have another dividend coming from Misty, which will be the second time this month. So I'm excited to see what that will be, and it should make for this month to be pretty successful. I will have another video out next Friday night or Saturday morning, and then the first of the month is, I believe, on Monday. So I will have a monthly recap coming out sometime over the weekend, probably Sunday night or Monday morning at the latest. So look forward to that. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or maybe an idea for what kind of video you might want to see, or want me to dive deeper on something, let me know. Until then, I will talk to you guys next week.